I'm going to share with you on a subject that is not clearly discernible specifically in the Bible. And it's a term that has been coined by man, but there is evidence of it in the scripture if you know how to read the scripture, how to understand it. For example, there's no mention of cars or airplanes in the scripture, but there's general references to travel by animals, on the backs of animals, or pulling a cart, walking, going from here to there. So we're going to say that because cars and airplanes are not in the Bible, that they're not scriptural. That's just a little example of what I want to preface with. But I'm talking about something that deliverance ministry refers to as demonic soul ties. There is evidence of that in the Bible. And I'm just going to give you scripture so that if you want to look these scriptures up, you can see for yourself. 1 Samuel 18:1, Genesis 44:30-31, 2 Samuel 20, verse 2, Exodus 34, verse 12-16, Genesis 2:24, and there's more. There's in the New Testament, the whole chapter that Paul wrote, I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 7, about fornication. A soul tie comes into effect in a lot of different ways. And some of those ways are godly, and there are godly soul ties. And some of those ways are ungodly, and there are ungodly soul ties, or demonic soul ties. Because when the soul tie is ungodly, there is always a hidden spirit behind the people who are involved. You can get ungodly soul ties with parents, through sexual contact and other forms of abuse, rape from, by certain people. A certain contact or bond will develop that is demonic. And the underlying effect of a demonic soul tie is really focused in your will, in that it seems like somebody got a hold on you. You fixed. We got an expression in old folk black world, you got a Mack truck up your nose. In other words, somebody is pulling your strings. And it ain't God and it ain't you. So who is it? Now, as I said, I have run into soul ties that have been ungodly in all kinds of different relationships. and for all kinds of different reasons. First, the person who is in the bondage, it doesn't mean that the other person is off, in a corner with some hair and some nails, working some mess on you. Doesn't mean that. But that's generally what we think it means. That somebody working something on you. They went to the root lady. It brings up it's not, I'm laughing, but I just got a weird sense of humor. But my husband, bless his heart, he's been deceased since 1983, my first husband. When we broke up, after we broke up, he got involved with another woman from his past before he met me. And so somebody instructed me and so made a suggestion that I go to a root lady to get my husband back. And the short version of this is that ultimately me and his lady was going to the same root lady. And we had him bouncing around like a ball. I go to the root lady, he back home with me. She go to the root lady, he back home with her. And I don't know, I'm laughing. But this man died real young before he got to be 40 years old. And I don't know if any of that root worker stuff, all right, that me and another party were involved in, this root worker fight. I don't know if that didn't have anything to do with why he died so early. Now, for me, that's all covered under the blood when I got born again. Whatever mess I was doing then, God doesn't hold me accountable for it. But if she ain't born again, well, who knows? But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. When somebody seems to have control over your soul, and that could be mama, daddy, cousin June, your next door neighbor, your teacher, your pastor, or any of them over there in that church. They got you bound. And the effect of it is so, sneaky and subtle, that in the beginning, you don't even know or sense where it's coming from. Now, I don't want to take too long. Last video I did, I went over the 15 minutes and I got cut off. I'm going to try to do these videos as quick and clean as I can and take my time, point by point. All right? Okay. Till next time.